Welcome back to the Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM.com. For all of you out there who are watching us live, welcome to the show. In Corinth, there's a bunch of other places that they can watch us as well.
Yes, absolutely. You can always catch us on YouTube. We have our own channel as well as a WCOBM channel as well on YouTube. You can watch us there. You can actually binge watch us on YouTube. There's like 2 years of shows. You could literally just keep watching if you wanted. There's also Facebook as well. We always post our videos there, and we have our own page there as well. And of course, we're everywhere. Instagram. I even put him on Snapchat. He didn't know it.
Yeah, boy, this
Twitter.
social media world allows.
Yeah.
It's amazing. This whole network is based on social media and the transmission of information through these platforms. So please go look for us everywhere. Like she said, Classic Communications is on Twitter, LinkedIn. The Guy Dawson Show's all over the place. Some places that I don't even know. Who knows who else might be out there, huh? Putting things all.
I know.
What a world we live in now.
Who knows? Who knows? But I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to be interviewing all of you again about, our Platinum Elite seminars and masterminds. And, I just really wanted to make a point that we were just talking about a few minutes ago, but I wouldn't even be on this show if it wasn't for the power of a mastermind group. I got involved with the mastermind group several years ago. They've actually been on the show because they're amazing people. But they really helped me to understand. I had a completely different set of goals when I walked into that mastermind group, and then I walked out completely living my dreams. And that's really what it's all about, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really about setting intention, which is what we did a lot of, and being intentional means that you make it very clear what it is that you want out of life. I think that's one of the challenges that a lot of people have, and I've had the same experiences at other times. It's been a long time, though, that I haven't been clear, but I think that people aren't clear. Mm-hmm. And being a part of a mastermind group brings you to that point of clarity. And sometimes it takes people outside of yourself to help you along in the process. Anyone have feedback on that?
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing personal development for about 2 years now, and it's been little pieces coming to me over the course of time, but it's usually somebody else who's able to dig in and bring it out of me. Like Dawn did a phenomenal coaching session that I didn't even ask for the other night. Last night? Was it last night? I don't know. Or a couple nights ago. And it was just like, that's it. That's exactly what it is that I've been thinking and feeling, and I just haven't been able to adequately express it. Mm-hmm. But it's usually another, for my experience, it's always been somebody else that's able to dig into your heart and pull that out. And for me, it always comes with a lot of tears. But yeah. It's definitely worth it.
Me too. I'm with you, sister.
Going back to the intention, when I was designing the layout for this event, every day needed to have an intentional purpose. Mm-hmm. Every segment in that day had to have an intentional purpose, and everyone that attended that event had to be part of their intention. Guy was saying that a lot of people are not thinking intentionally, and my belief system is that with us being so powerful as extended will of creation itself, that if we're not being intentional, then someone else is using us as their puppet to be able to get their intention to happen through us. And so it's about time that we get very clear on our intention, because we're so powerful that when we set our intention into motion, the universe has no choice but to show up and deliver us the tools to make it happen. And when people are not aware that they have that type of power, they end up getting pummeled like the experience in the waves.
Exactly.
They're like, if you go out into the waves, which I saw you do. In fact, we almost lost Kim.
No!
Big waves on the south shore of Oahu.
But you've got to be very clear that if you're not intentionally thinking, that somebody else's intention will put you into their current and take you out.
Absolutely.
Speaking from a Hawaiian language there, a little bit of a beach scene that we had, so you can imagine what you can get out of that. Mm-hmm. But definitely, are you in someone else's current in life, or are you designing the current? And that's really what we were doing while we were at Destination Waikiki.
Mm-hmm. And it really has to start somewhere, because I think a lot of times that people feel, I'm stuck, I've got debt, all these different things, that challenges with life. And yet you can start somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
If your intention is clear, the pieces of the puzzle that are going to lead you to the next step, they'll all be laid in front of you. And I know a lot of times people may ignore the gifts that are being placed in front of them, and then they think, well, nothing good ever happens for me. But it's just like the story about the floods in New Orleans. Have you heard about that during Katrina, where God sent boats for people to jump on the boats, and people would say, oh, God's going to take care of me, and they would ignore the boat.
Yeah.
And then they would drown, and then they say, God, how could you let me drown? And God said, I sent boats there. All you had to do was jump on the boat, and you would have lived. And so that's what broadcasts like this, where we're sharing an opportunity for you out there to maybe make a major shift in your life and just take this. This isn't happening by accident. The fact that you're watching this could be a year from now, 5 years from now, maybe you're watching live. There's an intention that is being created here for you, and you just have to embrace it and I don't know, pay attention, huh?
Yeah. I'm getting an image right now of like following the yellow brick road from the Wizard of Oz. And it's true. You know, I'm thinking back to my own life, even just at this event, where I think a lot of us sit back and think what should be the next step, and you never move. Sometimes you have to take that step. We don't know if it's going to go left or right. We don't know which direction we're supposed to go, but if you don't start actually actively moving and going in a direction, it doesn't create the energy for other stuff to show up for you, to show you, okay, well, let me see, let me go this way. Nope, definitely looks like I need to go to the left path now. Unless you actually start, and that, I think, is a huge lesson for life, and I think we did that. We really looked at places in our lives, again, going back to what you said about being interested. We all have interests, we all have desires, we all have things we want to accomplish, we want to have a better life. But we're just interested in making changes, but are we really committed in moving forward and taking the action to step forth and do something different, to get yourself off of your center point, to get you off of your nexus, and move forward and create that life of your dreams? We all have dreams. We forget to dream. I mean, I don't know about you, but, you know, we get stuck in the humdrum of life and we forget, you know. Why can't we still dream and be like a little kid? Life is unlimited.
Yeah,
It really is.
And I will add to the stories that people will tell themselves, even some of the audience, but not this audience,
Not
but
this
some of the
audience.
audiences that are out there that tell themselves the stories about why they don't have what they want or they deserve in life. And the reality is that the only one that keeps any individual from what they want or deserve in life is that individual. The opportunity is there. The self-inflicted pain that people put themselves through that holds them back from their lifestyle, their legacy, it's not acceptable. And my suggestion would be surround yourself with a different type of thinker. We are inviting you to be part of this vision. This is literally Destination Mastermind is a way that we're putting a dent into the world, and the dent into the world's thought processes to create a better life and show people their full, powerful, maximum potential for being able to have the lifestyle and the legacy that they want, and the legacy of their dreams. And it's doable. It's very doable, and you just got to get past the story. One of the things that I teach when I'm out there is that as long as you have your creativity, you are unlimitedly wealthy. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm stuck about the money. I don't understand how I can go. I've never traveled before. And the thing is that all the answers you need are there, and we will just need to help expose where you can find those and where you can find your support teams, and where to surround yourself with people that are big thinkers. I mean, it's go big or go home, and we live a big lifestyle when we're in these programs, and our goal is to let that be the ripple that we're sending out across the world.
Yeah, and it was abundance. That was really a big part of the theme throughout the week, is that we wanted to experience abundance, and in all aspects we did, the restaurants and one of the great opportunities though was the volunteerism.
Oh, that was fabulous.
Would anyone want to share about their experience? We were on the USS Missouri in Pearl Harbor, and we got to have a volunteer experience.
Go ahead.
Actually, what I found amazing was just by us showing up and cleaning the handrails, all of the guests and all the people that were going through the tour were asking me, what are you doing? We're volunteering, we're giving back time. And they said, well, how can we do it? So we actually were finding many people just by watching us get the idea and ask how they could participate as well. It was really inspiring.
And my message for that is that when you are living your core purpose and you're that congruent, and in this exercise we were showing how to put a philanthropic model into our businesses, but it was really an exercise on clearing and cleansing and sanitizing your thought process. But when we were doing that from that clarity, the ripple that we had sent out across this ship was amazing, because a lot of the people that were there for their experience, for their tourist experience, realized that there was something bigger and much more justifiable going on that ship, and they literally were attracted in regards to joining what our vision was, which is something that's simple that you can do for your vision as well. And Tony, how about for you?
That was a phenomenal experience. As a prior service person, I had, when I was in the Army, I had this idea that I was just a cog in a wheel and I was replaceable. But being on that ship put it in a completely different perspective because of what happened on that ship. And so even though we were just cleaning the handrails, we were doing a piece that had a bigger impact, and those sailors that served on that ship had a huge impact. That's where the Japanese came and signed the treaty where they said, okay, we're done, we're not fighting World War II anymore. So it was just, for me, it brought up a whole bunch of emotions, surprise, around that history, and realizing that even the smallest action that you can take can have an impact that's so much bigger than you see right at that point in time.
And we had come out of an exercise prior to that experience in regards to what is a legacy and is it worth fighting for. And we were able to firsthand be on the USS of Missouri that was part of the initial bombings that had happened in World War II, and we were able to be there, to be on the ship that was where it ended, and where the signings and the agreements came into place that ended World War II. And that, and I can't remember who it was, but there was a quote on there, is that, is what you're fighting for worth dying for? And that is a legacy, and that's what we were building all week long, is a legacy worth dying for, fighting for, one that pulls us out of bed in the morning and has us working till 11 or 12 at night to make a change in the world. And that is extremely worth doing, because then you don't feel like, oh, I just want to get at my paycheck and be gone at 5 o'clock, and then let whatever's on TV drag you around with your vision and your thought processes. No, it was us designing our thought processes, taking complete control, and creating a legacy worth dying for.
Yeah, and that's the real gut check. That's something that you have to really, whatever the cause is, you have that check in your gut. Is this worth dying for? I mean, is what I'm working towards really, will I give up my life for this cause? And when you are very clear about that you'll do anything to achieve the goal that you're working towards, whatever that is, and there's just an unlimited amount of ways that you can serve humanity, financially and in other ways, but when you have that gut check and you know that what you're doing is absolutely where you need to be, just get on the path, and that's the trust, right? You have to trust that you're on the right path.
Yeah, and the other beautiful thing too is this was, a masterclass event where we experienced a lot of what the tourism did. And the difference is there's a lot of tourism that was going on out there, but they were worried about, do I have to be on my phone? Where can I afford my next meal? I can't afford that next excursion, and all those stories. So what kind of a vacation is that? When we designed this, it was about, are we living in the abundant lives that we deserve, that we were born as our inheritance naturally to have, and how do we do this to where we can spread it around the world and show everybody that it is doable for them as well, and that is one of the gifts that we've been keeping from ourselves for a very long time, but I think that there were some other decisions there to live a different way.
Absolutely.
You know, something that I took away too and just remembered now is one of our presenters or speakers, Derek, mentioned that one sentence. Do you guys remember that? That he said with anything, can I just, and then fill in the blank. Like, it doesn't have to be this huge thing, and I think we're so busy thinking about, you know, in order to do something, it has to be this huge thing. Just take a baby step. Take a step and get going in that direction. It really motivates you. I took that away from this event as well. That's really huge. Can I just, and fill in the blank. Make one little action step, you know, one movement forward, anything, you know, to get you going in that direction. If you break it up, pretty soon you're there.
Yeah, because once you get in motion, it's harder to stop. You just keep on propelling yourself forward, and it's the hardest thing to do is to start.
To start.
But once you start, even with that little baby step, then the baby step becomes 10 baby steps, and then it becomes a huge leap.
The momentum,
and then you're just running.
Yep.
And it's definitely easier to start when you have
Clarity.
Well, not just the clarity, but the people around you to help
support.
you
True.
with the support,
Yes. Right.
keep you on your vision, to ask you about your vision, to understand the importance of your vision.
To encourage
And sometimes
you.
you don't get that even
Yeah.
at your own home. I
True.
mean, there's
That's true.
last
That's true.
night I had someone come up to me and have an in-depth conversation about how they're living a life and they see that they want something bigger and better, but they don't have their spouse on the same page, and how do they separate that so that way they can live the life without being brought down. And there's
Sure.
a pretty in-depth
Yeah.
conversation in regards to that, but it is doable. And when this person launches and they go, you know, like a rocket ship down where they want to go, in their wake, their
Right.
friends and family will then come naturally, but they have to take the step. It's
Sure.
part of their journey.
We had a spiritual segment that was led by Kim, and share with the audience what that was all about. What were you trying to teach us?
I was actually trying to teach that day to, one, get back into the space of presence. Just take a moment. I called it the meditation moment. And that was just to get present for just a moment. I know we're busy, hustle and bustle, but to start your day with some kind of a routine that's yours, that's gets you centered, gets you focused, gets you grounded, gets you just feeling back to being present, just in that moment. Even just taking a nice big deep breath, or being, you know, grateful and saying things the minute your feet hit the ground or before they hit the ground, of, you know, 5 things you're grateful for that moment when you first wake up. It kind of brings things back to perspective. And I think that the intention for me there was just to have people really, really look at what was going on in their life at that particular moment. Like, what were they ready to shift or let go of? What did they need to let go of, and to move forward, to actually have this ideal life and this ideal dream. And sometimes you have to get real, and it's painful. Sometimes it's not comfortable to know that sometimes you have to let things go and to move forward. And it can be painful, it can be frightening, but there's always on the other side of it opportunity, and no growth happens without discontent. So you have to push through and muddle through. I think it was very impressive for me that day, because nobody let anybody off the hook. There were people, including myself, that wanted to kind of skirt away from one particular topic. And one of the gentlemen called me up short, and that's again the beauty of the mastermind. You're not getting away with this one. You have to face this thing that you don't want to face, and you know, I'm going to hold you accountable. You better show up, you know. And he forced me to go through it, and it was a beautiful experience. And each one of us, I think, were profoundly touched that day, and really, really bonded and learned. It's just going back to the being committed again. I don't know, I can't explain it, but it was just a very moving moment. Each person really brought up something that just needed to shift, that they may not have even been aware was present.
Yeah, it's really just about putting yourself in the environment. Again, you're watching this because this is for you. I mean, I know I've done lots of shows, as Corintha had talked about, almost 3 years worth of these shows, and each one of them is a gift to you in some way. And then I guess it's all the way that you take the gift. It's not wrapped up in a
Not
box
always
with a
pleasant.
big bow on top. There are things that you are going to have to do to receive your gift, but it doesn't mean that the gift isn't there.
Oh, that's true. Very true.
Yeah,
That's so
absolutely.
true. And I think the tough part, I think that this is what an issue that I know that I've had in the past, is I hear a lot about how we stop ourselves from living our dreams. And there have been signs that I've seen from the universe, and I'm like, you reminding me, like, no, you need to keep on this path. But sometimes it's easy to ignore those and just say, you know what, I'd rather be comfortable. And that's not what this is about at all for all of you.
Getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes, but that's the only way to grow.
So if you're out there watching and this is resonating with you on any level and you want to learn more, you can definitely visit us at facebook.com/Platinum Elite Seminars. You can call us at 702-869-999. And I think that was it, right?
One more nine.
869-9999. And we'll be able to get you signed up for the French Riviera, which is going to be amazing and themed everything French Riviera style. So
you ready to change your life?
Yeah, we're looking
Come
forward
join
to
us.
seeing all of you at Destination Mastermind on the French Riviera. Thank you for tuning into this week's edition of the... Wow, I was going to say one of my other shows. That's what happens when you have such an abundance of shows to you forget which one you're hosting. However, please tune in next week to this next week's edition of the Guy Dawson Show. Take care of yourselves.